So I went on a mission. For the first time, I went to run an errand on my skates. I was a little nervous about it because I knew it was a major undertaking and it's kind of cold and wet. And before I came down the hill, I was checking out the friction, and the road was feeling really slick, and my skates are feeling a little wobbly because I was using my good skates the day before. But I'm pretty used to the hill, so the hill wasn't too big a deal. But overall, I'm not feeling terribly stable at this point. So in this section, I did cut out a bunch of stuff because the skating was tentative and slow and not very interesting. Not that the rest of it is that interesting either, but if somebody wanted to just chill and feel like they're going for a ride with me, I decided to keep most of the footage, even though there really isn't any, it's nothing fancy, no fancy footwork, no jumps, no awesome stopping or anything like that. Just basically cruising around town pretty much as fast as I can. Once I got warmed up, that is. So my mission today, I have some flyers that I wanted to put up. And instead of driving around to various places and putting them up, I thought it might be nice to combine it with a lengthy skate and the first time really going somewhere from my house on my skates. I haven't quite mastered that hill yet, but I'm pretty close. My first stop was Magpie, which is a gourmet pizza restaurant. Right across the street here. It happens to be at the top of this incredibly steep hill, so I didn't have to go down it, which is good. But it was closed. So I headed through town on my way to Big Y, which is pretty far from here. And I cut out a bunch of stuff because my trip through town was not great. There were a lot of cars everywhere, and as I mentioned, I was still feeling unstable. So I was really taking everything pretty slow. Once I finally got across the street and headed down this hill here, then things picked up a bit. Got better. There's a red light ahead and some cars stopped at the intersection, so I'm slowing it down to make sure that they do what they're going to do before I go through. It did turn green. It was really quite warm on this day, but I was cold when I started, so I had that windbreaker on. But I won't be able to keep that on for long. Already pretty sweaty here. Now I've got to head up this fairly long hill to get over the highway. And there's a lot of gravel in the shoulder here. But not so much that you can't stride over it. Now the overpass itself is made of concrete, and probably at one time it was nice and smooth, but now it is a mess. It's hard to even roll over. You'll see it's coming up here. Right here. You can maybe tell by the way my arm is flailing and the camera's moving around. It's hard to even keep your balance on this stuff. Just got to get really low. I'm glad that's over with. This car behind me seems to want to wait for me at the rotary, so I'll try and get on through there. Down behind me to my right is GCC. For all the fans all over the world, that stands for Greenfield Community College. By going down this street here, I'm able to get to the Big Y Plaza without having to go any further down that major road back there, which is nice. And I should have done that on the way back too, but I hate coming back the way I went out, so I ended up making that poor choice on the way back. I'm exhausted here. Whenever I skate or ride a bike, I always push as hard as I can. I can't seem to not do that. Just can't stand to go a little bit slower than I can go. If I could go a little bit faster, then I do. Coming up to the end of this chunk of the video, and if you want to keep on watching this, then go on to part 2.